Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of PVT, aka Player versus Team. And y'all see, I'm back with my guy, DJ Micah B. How we doing, man?
I'm good, fresh off work. I ain't even took a shower yet, but I was like, shit, we about to get it cracking on PVT.
Hey, man, I feel you, dog. I absolutely feel
Oh, I forgot to ask you this backstage. So I'm just
you.
asking you right now because I feel like a lot of people are invested in this.
Go ahead.
What you think about this East Coast, West Coast revival of a beef thing going on here with Joey Badass versus everybody on the East?
You know what? I'm glad you asked. I absolutely love this. Okay. And me and Mel have talked extensively about this.
Mr.
Uh,
New York himself.
of course, so he's loving everything about this. You know what I mean? And he has, I guess, what you can say, an unconventional beef with TDE and his residents, which is cool. I love it. You know what I mean? And he's full blown bought into the TD East movement, and not TDE, the TD East movement. Shout out to Joey Badass. But I absolutely love it, bro. As a fan of Joey Badass since he started, this is something that the rap game needed. This is something that hip hop needed. Honestly, I sat to myself legitimately as all of this stuff was happening, right? Like Kendrick dropping the albums, Drake dropping the albums, all this new music we're getting. I sat back 2 weeks ago and I was like, where my nigga Joey at? Like, I know he's been doing the Power Joan, you feel me? And shout out to him. Mind you, never watched the episode of Power. I know I'm slacking on my Mac and I got to get on it, but I'm an anime dude. Sue me. But
I didn't like Power. I don't like Power. I just don't like Power. So
respectable. But I was like, I know he was doing his Power Joan, you feel me? Respectable. But I'm like, nah, Joey, where you been at again? Because I need the bars. You feel me? Like, what's popping? Right? So the fact that we're getting like Joey been rapping, he been in the studio, he got some shit to say. That's the best part about this, right? Is like Joey just ain't been sitting idly by, kind of saying, twiddling his fingers, like, yeah, nah, I don't really know if I got it anymore because I've been, doing the acting thing. Like, nah, like he been building some Jones up. You know what I mean? He been adding to his arsenal. He been, you know what I mean? I feel like Joey, he was in that dark place. You know what I mean? Like when rappers go, and it was like, just because I'm acting now, that don't mean like I ain't been in that dungeon. You feel me? Going crazy with these bars. You know what I mean? So, like,
Joey been on his LL shit because that's how
you know what I
LL
mean?
was, and then LL popped back up and just dropped the album. That shit was fire,
Crazy. And Joey's about to drop an album probably within the next month. So
shit.
like,
If not the next few hours, the way he dropping shit right
you know
now.
what I mean? So like, I just feel like a lot of people thought like, oh yeah, he's been acting and he's been, you know what I'm saying, on Hollywood. And then, you see the video where he was, I think it was in a store somewhere, he socked on a dude because dude did some crazy shit. But like, you started to slowly but surely see Joey start to come back into the forefront. And now, he's dropping music like fuck like he need a meal. Like he dropping music like he need $1, bro. He said, all I need is $1. Please, somebody help me out, nigga. And he's dropping music left and right, bro. So I absolutely love it because, like I said, as a huge Joey Badass fan, bro, like this is big, bro. Like for all of us who have been Joey Badass fans and the big fans of, underground hip hop, underground New York hip hop, because everybody talking about the New York hip hop scene is dead and all this other extra stuff. And we're like, nah, bro, like y'all just not listening to the real artist of hip hop. You know what I mean? Of course, y'all want to listen to the New York
That's
Drill.
crazy. They say New York hip hop is dead, like Joel Ortiz don't exist, dog.
Come on, bro. You feel me?
That's
Like,
wild.
you got Joel Ortiz, you got, you feel me, Dave East, bro, Joey Badass, fucking Benny the Butcher. Like, it's crazy just that people just the shit that people say, especially like New York underground hip hop. Like that should be the
Yeah,
when
I
people
think
talk
I
about
think
New
what
York rappers.
people I think what people mean to say is mainstream New York is dead. Like there's no more Diddy, uh there's no more Mason Cameron, like people dropping like radio hits and things like that.
Yeah,
That's not what these new niggas have took it back to, like Joel Ortiz, Joey Badass, Davies. They are from, and I don't want New York to take this the wrong way because I know somebody will take it out there and be like, man, we don't listen to Southern music like that. But they are from the Lil Wayne era.
Almost definitely.
Whereas
No, most definitely, bro.
just straight mixtapes. Like albums is cool. You can make your album and make nothing but club hits like Lil Wayne did with the Carter 3 and just make a bunch of radio songs and put it together and call it an album. That's the era they're from. Like, but we gonna leave this real shit for the mixtape, for the fans that's gonna go underground and find it. Yeah. I know, don't act like y'all don't know about the suffix, the prefix, the dedication 2, the dedication. I didn't like the dedication 3, but whatever.
It was cool, but we already know.
No ceilings. The drought 2.
The drought series was insane.
Like, for me, so I'm not even gonna sit here in front like I'm a Joey Badass fan, right? I knew Joey Badass had bars. I knew he was a legit rapper, but I'm not too heavy into Joey Badass music. But after that cypher and him taking shots at Daylight, because I was heavy into URL when Daylight was at, you know what I'm saying, when Daylight was on top of his game in URL and battle rap. Him going at Daylight is crazy. Like, I heard him go at Daylight. I was like, nigga, do you not know who this dude is? And then he went at Daylight, and then he just kept spitting and spitting and spitting. He went at Kendrick and kept spitting and spit. He started going at all their asses. I'm like, and I'm sitting here like, yo, okay, New York hip hop is real still, and it's still around and it's still alive. Like at least the battle rap, you know what I'm saying? The battle rap at least. So like, I fuck with it. And Kendrick was right. Kendrick said he wanted to bring back the competitive spirit to hip hop, and all these niggas followed suit.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to act, bro. That's how you're supposed to act, bro. Like, you're not supposed to, you feel me, go and cry and bitch and moan and, oh, well, this happened and he said this, and nah, bro, get in the booth, my nigga. Like,
and I feel like that's the problem with that's the problem with hip hop now. Like, I promise you, if we ain't even got to go back that far, Moo. We can go back to, let's say, Swagger Like Us. Let's go back to Swagger Like Us. Ask any one of them niggas on Swagger Like Us.
Yep.
Ask any one of them niggas on Swagger Like Us when they recorded their verses, they thought they was gonna have the best verse. They was like, oh yeah, because I was trying to kill these niggas.
Yeah, period.
Big facts.
Period.
Like, that's just part of hip hop. Like, when people understand the assignment, the song is amazing. Like, how about a more recent one? Which two are when T Grizzly and J. Cole did Blow for Blow, they both understood the assignment. They both killed it. They both killed it. You know, so I like it. Even this past cypher, it was Joey Badass, Big Sean. Who am I missing? Who's the third person I'm missing?
My boy Ab-Soul.
Ab-Soul. Yeah. Hey, if you know about Charlie Clips, you know what Charlie Clips did.
Yeah.
So, but Ab-Soul is a fire rapper too. But like, all of them came for blood in that cipher. They still fuck with each other, but they all wanted to have the best verse in the cipher. Like that, it is what it is. Because real MCs, you know what I'm saying? They're not. These niggas ain't rappers. They're MCs, bro. Like, it's a difference. A rapper is like. Hip hop and rap is different, but right now in today's day and age, any rapper that is making music is considered a hip hop artist. And the reason why we consider them a hip hop artist, because you're making music for a vibe. You don't have a story to tell. You're making music based off vibes. That's why you're an artist.
Yep.
You're not a rapper.
Yep. That's facts. That's big facts. That's big facts, bro. And I think like with this whole bringing back ciphers, bro, like just randomly dropping it, right? Like Red Bull sponsoring it, you know, like what
they created a whole new lane for that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, what? Wait a minute, because like, you know, you got the Tiny Desk and all of these new kind of, you know, social media platforms and outlets kind of popping up to where older artists are coming out and performing their older songs, or artists are coming out performing their new songs off some albums, whatever the case may be. But like, you don't see ciphers no more. You don't see the top of the guy, the top of the rap games guys, girls just on a beat, killing the beat, trying to kill each other on the beat. Like, that's what that's what hip hop is missing. So like, when I see the Ab-Souls and the Big Seans and the goddamn Joey like, when you see Ab-Soul and Big Sean, that automatically, to me, that automatically got a light. That's 3 light bulbs in my head. Like, wait, one more time?
And not only that, bro, here's the sad part. BET does one for the Hip Hop Awards every year, and it hasn't been the same because they don't ever want to repeat the same people. But these rappers nowadays aren't capable of doing it because they're not skilled. They make music for vibes, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I want to point that out. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know what I'm saying? And you stay in your lane. But the minute y'all niggas start talking about I'm the best this, I'm the best that, no, you're not. Like, the best female rapper of the past 10 years, a lot of people are going to say Nicki, Cardi, this. The best female rapper of the past 10 years is Rhapsody. And nobody is close.
Thank you. It's not even remotely close.
Nobody's close.
It's not even remotely close. Like, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the reason why I think a lot of people don't want to get, a lot of these rappers don't want to get into a cipher, right? Because just like you said, they can't do it. They're not skilled enough to do it, right? We had, back in the day, just like y'all were talking about on Gentleman's Talk the other day, right? Like, we have guys, everybody has guys in their hood, everybody has guys in their state, whatever the case may be, that can freestyle. Right.
Yep.
You're writing a whole bunch of stuff down on a notepad, and then you just kicking it. You feel me? Just going, just flowing, whatever the case may be, because it's not necessarily attached or connected to a song. You were just writing, right? Like, this is how y'all know I really watch the show. You feel me? I'm not.
Yeah, and right, and that's what freestyle is. It's a free form of writing.
It's a free form of writing. A lot of people don't get the difference, right? But off the dome, like, when people are just kicking raps off the dome, kicking bars off the dome, bro, like, that's a different skill set. And that's what we have a lot of the times back in the day with ciphers. A lot of niggas just got together, bro, 3, 4, 5 niggas, and we finna just rap, bro. We don't even know what we finna talk about. We finna just rap off the dome. Ain't nobody in here writing nothing. Like, that type of skill is, it's a lost art now. You know what I mean?
And like, for people that don't understand the difference, I know you've seen this. I know you for sure have seen this. If you don't understand the difference, go watch Sway in the Morning when Lil Kiki was on. Lil Kiki got on there and went straight. He was like, hey, in New York and stuff, they backpack rappers. That ain't our culture. They write stuff down. We ain't got time to remember all that. We kicked that shit off the dome. Lil Kiki kicked the freestyle off the dome, just going crazy. And like, he wasn't spitting bars or nothing, but the whole studio is like, yo, this is crazy. He just looking at random shit and talking about it. Yeah. He ain't cussing. He ain't doing nothing. He just rapping.
Yep, literally. Like, I remember early Kendrick, they giving this nigga a whole bunch of shit on flashcards, and he just rapping off the dome about what the flashcards. Like, not even like they pointing that shit in the room and shit. They like, oh, nigga, this over here, the window. Like, that's MCing, that's rapping. So like, when I see a Joey Badass on a cipher with Big Sean and what? Oh, that has my attention, and I'm locked in, because like, what is happening? And then on top of that, you got Ray Vaughn, that a lot of people don't even know. A lot of people didn't even know.
I didn't. I'll be the first person to tell you I didn't. And it's because Ray, I know who he is now. Let's get that. Yeah, I didn't know who he was, and that's partially because people gonna be like, but you're a DJ. Yeah, DJs don't know everything. DJs know what people like to dance to. Yeah, I gotta know club bangers and hits, like, and a couple of underground things, a couple of underground songs that make people dance. I don't know the whole world, and I wish people would get that out their head. I don't know essentially what y'all listen to California at parties. I know what the mainstream hits are. I don't know what the California rappers hits are. your local
There's new
rappers
hits every day. You know what I mean? Like there's people out here who go up to DJs like, hey, can you play this? And that nigga like, bro, I don't got that yet. That motherfucker just dropped like 3 hours ago, my nigga. Yeah, it may slap, you feel me? Yeah, it may be a dope ass track, but nigga, I don't have that yet. Can you give me some time, bro? Like I still gotta download the shit and find it and all kind of like there's a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of artists. There's a whole bunch of there's artists and rappers who out shit even out here in California that I ain't even heard of yet. Like I'm like, bro, we don't know, like DJs and freaking just people don't know everything. So I know a lot of people probably didn't know Rayvon, but you got him, he coming out talking his shit against Joey. A lot of the other freaking TDE artists, they're like, hold on, wait a minute, you nigga, Kendrick ain't even a part of TDE no more. And you coming at us, nigga, don't do that because we can rap over here too. So you got Rayvon, you got fucking freaking Casey Veggies in them, freaking Reason, he done freaking put his goddamn hat in the ring. Freaking AZ Chike ain't even part of TDE. That nigga just an LA nigga. He don't like niggas talking about LA. He just dropped this track. Like, I'm like, bro, I don't even know what's happening right now. I don't even think you niggas seen y'all families in a week because y'all rapping right now, and I love it.
All these niggas in the studio right now. All these niggas. Nobody wants to be heard as you had the worst diss track. None of them.
Or you didn't respond, right? And everybody's talking about Kendrick's not responding. The nigga on tour, like,
yeah.
The nigga literally in the middle of a whole ass goddamn tour right now. Like,
hey, I'm sorry to tell you, that's not an excuse.
You feel me? And it's like, and to me, even to me, nigga, I'm like, shit, drop a YouTube video right now. Fuck it.
Like, let me tell you why that's not an excuse. I want to remind you, Drake was on tour when he dropped back to back. He recorded in the bathroom shower. Drake was on tour when he dropped back to back.
Drop a YouTube video, nigga, right now, nigga. You feel me? Shit.
Like even if it
record it off the phone.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it's just an iPhone recording you spitting on your cars playing the beat, nigga, respond.
Look,
because you was on Drake head for not responding, and now you're not responding. The whole world like, oh, so he went at Drake. And this is me just purely looking at it. It's like, oh, well, you went at Drake, and you told Drake he had this amount of time to respond and this amount of time to respond, and Drake responded every time. I mean, it's what Drake saying. I don't know what it really is that made y'all mad, but hey. It's been 3 days. Drake said it's been 3 days and you ain't even respond. Like, hey man, in that Meek Mill battle, granted though, Charged Up wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's true.
Charged Up wasn't that good, but back to back. I didn't think back to back was that good either. I just thought it was Drake did what, and this is why I say Kendrick won in the end. It's because Kendrick did to Drake what Drake did to Meek Mill. It didn't, after Drake dropped back to back and made a hit out of a diss song, it didn't matter what Meek did. Meek took it to the battle rap room in the streets and took it there, and everybody was like, nigga, we don't care about none of that. You can't make a hit. And Drake did in the middle of a diss battle.
I think a lot of people forget like the social media era plays a difference, right? Because even with back to back, a lot of people will say like the song, like you said, the song itself wasn't necessarily good. It just had a lot of popular one-liners that people can remember.
Right.
So like, and when you think about the song, it's like, oh well, yeah, no, like I guess I like the song, but it's like you really didn't like the song. Like the beat was fire, and you liked the few one-liners that he had in the song that you remember because like they were clever. And like in the social media era, a lot of people don't really understand the kids, right? The kids love one-liners. The kids love memorable lines that they can remember and say to their friends and use as roast because like it fits in a chorus.
I like them too.
You know what I mean?
I like one-liners too. So when Drake said, Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga, I was like, yes, dog.
that shit. And it's crazy because it's like as simple as that is, like that's fire because like nigga, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. Like what the fuck, nigga? Don't be talking about me, bro. You feel me? Like with Meek, right? Is this your world tour or your girls tour? Like, nigga, that shit, you feel me? Like, and it's crazy because it was true because he was literally on tour with Nicki at the time. So it's like a lot of people they
Hey,
will take that and run with it.
When that nigga said, and shout out to all my boss bitches, wife and niggas, I was like, okay.
Shout out to all my boss bitches, wife and niggas. Yeah, no, that nigga was, you feel me? Like that nigga was, he had a lot of good ass one-liners. And I think a lot of people don't understand that notion. Like a lot of people in the social media era, a lot of kids in the social media era, they love one-liners, bro. They love the shit that they can
you getting bodied by a singing nigga. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that? That was a thing back then when people was like, you getting bodied by a singing nigga, and it was surprising. The problem is now Chris Brown is sunning a lot of niggas out here, and Chris Brown is a singing nigga. Mm-hmm. The R&B artists are rapping better than a lot of the rappers, and that's the issue now.
I don't think niggas want problems with Breezy though. That's the thing. Like I just like in the booth and out the booth. I don't think niggas want problems with Breezy. Just keep it in the beam because
you know what? Let's
be different.
we done veer it off, but we had to, we didn't have a nerd question of the day. So we had a little pop segment today, man, because that was definitely needed. Shout out to Joey Badass though, man. Shout out to Joey. Joey called out everybody, and he taking all slugs and firing back.
Yeah,
don't give a damn who you is.
No nerd question of the day, but we did have a music segment of the day. But like DJ Michael B said, shout out to Joey Badass. Like I said, one of my favorite New York artists, and I'm loving that he, what I'm saying, is being absolutely petty and taking on TDE in the West Coast, full on, right? So to get on with this this doctor we got going on. Before we get to this Minnesota OKC game. The Pacers are up 1-0 on the Knicks.
Yep.
I believe this is the meme going around right now. Him pointing at somebody right now.
Premature.
Premature.
Eventually, eventually they did win the game.
They did.
But I mean, it was he even came out and said, he was like, I thought I hit a 3 and the game was over. I didn't realize my foot was still on the line and we had to go to overtime.
Brother, when I tell you, I'm watching the game last night before I went to the gym, and I'm like, I'm thinking the whole time to myself, like, if this nigga come down and win the fucking game for these niggas, I'm gonna lose my mind because there's no fucking way that these niggas were down plus 10 and then came back and won. So I swore the game was over, right, bro? He comes down, I'm like, okay, he got the ball in his hands. Obviously, he's gonna try to shoot a 3. Comes down, hits the nigga with a step back. I was like, oh no, he's not gonna do it again. Because the nigga has some moments in his NBA playoffs, and I'm like, he's not gonna do it again. I seen the step back. I wasn't necessarily paying attention to foot on the line, but to me, I swore on my life. I swore on my life that was 3, dog. I was like, oh, that's money. This nigga just did it again.
Hey,
I looked at the replay. I said, "Ooh, foot on the line."
Hey, Kevin Durant swore it was money too with his toe on the line.
I did the same thing when KD did it too, though. I said, "Oh my!" I literally screamed. My wife over here twitching and shit because I'm over here yelling and shit like that, and I damn near woke her up. You feel me? My son getting scared because I thought that was game. You know what I mean? It wasn't game, but then they came out and they finished. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm glad that they did because you can't hit the choke song like Reggie and not finish. Which, if Spike wasn't, I'm pretty sure Spike was there, but
he wasn't front row though.
Yeah, he wasn't front row this time. I don't think he. I don't know if you want to do that again and relive that.
If he was there, he definitely relived it.
Well, we know the original story is that Spike is the reason why Reggie started to go crazy because he started talking shit. So I don't know if Spike was talking shit to Halliburton, but hopefully he wasn't. Hopefully he was not.
Spike is the reason Patrick Ewing got dunked on in the most disrespectful way of all time.
Spike is the reason for a lot of bad moments in the Garden. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. because we all know Spike is animated and he gets into the game. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Jack Nicholson or
But you
Snoop
got to,
Dogg on
but you know what?
Sideline.
You gotta love fans like that. You have to.
Mhm.
And I think the players appreciate it. I think the players from opposing
Well, yeah,
teams
because
appreciate
it's
it.
turned up.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, like like I think they like, yo, I got respect for you because there's a lot of people out here that's not diehard fans.
That is true. That's true. That's for surely true. And I think like not die hard as far as like that level now, right? Because like you see Spike, bro, like at damn near every game, not even damn near every game, every fucking home game, and he's there, glasses on, filming Knicks gear, and he's outside with it, So, but
Even when they sucked, he was there.
even when they sucked, it was there. But I got a question for you: is there a world where the Pacers can actually win this series?
Yes. I think there is a world where the Pacers could win this series. Here's my only issue with me saying the Pacers can win the series. Right? It took a freaking miracle last night, or two, was it last night? It took a miracle last night for them to win that game. The Pacers cannot afford to come out that flat again against the Knicks.
That is true.
The Knicks are now on win now, as in like next game is a must win for them because they don't want to go down 2-0. And more importantly, I just want to remind everybody, I hate to be this guy, Moo, but I'm here to do it, and I'm here to do it. Am I tripping, or last time Reggie Miller did that to the Knicks ended up winning the series? The Knicks ended up winning the series.
It's true.
But the reason I feel like there's a way they can win the series is because Tyrese Halliburton is on a mission. And he's motivated right now because all you stupid ass motherfuckers out there said he was the most overrated player in the NBA, which was insane. I never thought he was overrated because nobody rated him as a superstar.
Yeah, I did that.
Like we rated him if we rated him as a really good player with star power. Nobody ever said this dude was a superstar. When you start saying he's a superstar, then I'll say, okay, overrating just a little bit. But because my definition of superstar is anybody that's top 5. Like I think the term superstar is too loose. I think there's superstar. After superstar, there's box office. Then there's franchise players. Then there's all-star level players. Then you got your star players, who are normally your third best player on your team, or you want to be the third best player on your team. And then you got your 6th man, and then you got everybody else. But
role players, etc., etc.
Yeah. So like I don't believe anybody left in the playoffs besides SGA might be a superstar. Not a single one. And if history shows itself true, OKC should win the championship because they have the superstar. I do believe Anthony Edwards is a superstar too, as well. I do believe because I have Anthony Edwards toting that line between 5 and 6 right now. So, but could the Pacers win against the Knicks? Absolutely, because the Knicks don't possess a superstar, and neither do the Pacers. I think the Pacers have a really good all-star or a really good franchise player in Tyrese Halliburton. I think the Knicks have a really good franchise player in Jalen Brunson. I think Miles Turner and Cat pretty much cancel each other. And people will say, well, Cat scores more, but Miles Turner's better on defense.
Yep. There you go.
So I don't, and then OG Anunoby versus Nesmith.
Rod,
what's up, Rod? OG Anunoby versus Nesmith. OG Anunoby has not played well since he's been
in New York
on the Knicks. He has not. And then you know, or you know what? Scratch that. Let's go Neesmith versus Mikal Bridges. How about that one? Neesmith versus Mikal Bridges.
That's fair.
Josh Hart versus what's the other guy on the outside with Neesmith?
I think it's Andrew Nembhard.
Yes. You know, so yeah, I think the Pacers can win the series because I just think they're a well-rounded team. And people forget last year the Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals, and y'all said the only reason why they got there is because everybody was hurt, and they got there again this year when teams were fully healthy.
That's true.
But the knock on them last year was they beat the Knicks because the Knicks wasn't healthy because Jalen Brunson didn't play in Game 7, and who was there? Was it DiVincenzo? DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. They put on a show last year in that Game 7. They tried their hardest to bring it home. But
remember Josh Hart also got hurt in that game.
Yes. Yep. I don't know necessarily who's going to win this series. Look at the Pacers win. It's like I'm not even going to go 55-45. I'm going like 51-49. I'm leaning 51-49 in favor of the Knicks just because I think the combination of Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns is better than Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner. And then if you want to throw Mikal Bridges in there and Neesmith in there, I think the Knicks have the better trio. But it's gonna this series. I think the series is gonna go 6 or 7 games. It's gonna be a dogfight, and I expect the Knicks to come out on top. But man, y'all call this man the most overrated player in the NBA, and he don't like that. Like, hey man, never kick an unwounded dog when it's down. Like this, nothing was wrong with Halliburton. He was just balling and playing and having fun. And then y'all say he was the most overrated player. And then the last 4 weeks, he like, who was y'all talking about? Because it got to be another Halliburton in this league. Because I know y'all ain't talking about me.
Man, my grandma used to say, if you come across a dog that's laying down, leave him alone. Tyrese wasn't doing nothing but laying down, chilling, and y'all voted him amongst his peers. By the way, like this wasn't like a fan vote. This was like amongst his peers, like other people in the NBA that played with him, voted him overrated, most overrated, knowing that they would have to see him in games. Not saying that other players wouldn't have taken that and put the proverbial chip on their shoulder, but somebody who is looked at as a franchise player in Tyrese Halliburton would probably take that and want to prove that he's not overrated to the players that he's playing. The thing, like I said on Monday, the things that scared me about this Pacers team is not just how young they are, not how fiery they are, but how good they communicate. And like DJ Michael B said, it's going to be hard for them to come out next game that flat and be able to pull out a victory. But I think the big reason as to why they did is because how they talked, how they communicated on both offense and defense, right? Like them getting into the passing lanes, them being able to box out of crucial situations, them being able to switch on cutters, them being able to, communicate cutters and get into the open lane, create missed shots. It's different, right? And when I look at this Pacers team, they trust each other. They trust each other to a different extent that you see other players, right? They have a lot more chemistry, a lot more connection. Like I said this on Monday's show, that you can tell that these are guys that they hang out with each other off the court, right? Like they kick it with each other. They go to events and parties and stuff like that together. Like, and men may not be majority of the team, but it's a lot of them. So, or enough of them to the where it makes a difference, right? They know each other's ins and outs. They know what makes each other tick. And that's the scariest part, because even when you have a team that's, I guess you could say, loaded like the Knicks, it's, do they have that chemistry? Do they have that camaraderie? Do they have that connection to the point where they can communicate both verbally and non-verbally, and make each other better like that. So, not saying that the Knicks don't communicate well, because they do actually communicate very well. It's just that Pacers team, this Pacers team, it's something different that I've seen in a while. Like they don't just play basketball the right way. They play it fast. They play it smart. They play it together. And I think that's the difference when you're looking at them compared to, let's say, the Knicks or even the OKC, right? They kind of have a guide to where everybody's looking at them as their proverbial superstar, right? The SGAs, the Jalen Brunsons, even the Anthony Edwards of the world. But I feel like they all look at each other as a superstar. Like they all play together, and they don't look at just one person to kind of save them. If it comes down to Tyrese Halliburton, sure, bet. But we've seen in that last game with Naismith turning into fucking Chef Curry Smith that
boy turned into Clay.
You know what
He
I mean?
turned into Clay. Game
Andrew
6 Clay at that.
You know what I mean? Andrew Clay Smith. You feel me? So so like him turning into that, like that's Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? That's him making the good plays, them making the best plays, the best basketball plays. That's going to put them in a position to succeed. And I think that's the ultimate difference. I do think the Knicks can win this series. I don't think that the Pacers are going to win this series convincingly. Like I said, this is going to go 7. But I just think that this is going to be one of the biggest challenges the Sixers had outside of possibly the finals, depending on who they see. But it's going to take more than offensive firepower to get past these Pacers. You're going to have to score in bunches. You're going to have to play great defense. You're going to have to be crafty. May need a little bit of luck here and there, but like it's not going to be an easy kind of walk on the road. And I know a lot of people were expecting that, right? And even I was to a certain extent, but it wasn't until Monday's show that kind of had this conversation that made me think like, damn, the Knicks kind of have been scraping by, bro. And like with the Pacers, they're not a scrape by team, because if you let them in the game, they're running with that.
You know what? Here's what I'll say, because I feel you on the scrape by. There was a man that was on First Take a couple of years ago, sitting across from Stephen A. Smith, named Max Kellerman. When Max Kellerman talked about the NFL and talking about teams the next year that weren't going to make the playoffs, that made it the year, because every year a team pops up out of nowhere, makes the playoffs, and then you got to pick who's going to fall out the following year, because somebody always falls out.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman said point differential is the best way to gauge a team. And he's absolutely right.
That's true. He did say that.
Point differential is the best way to gauge a team. The Knicks have had a lot of comeback games, all playoffs long. Right? They've had an incredible playoff run. They were down to the Celtics by 20 twice and came back and won. But it's something there is not all the way clicking if you got to scrap, because you're not, if you got to come back, you're not starting the game off right. And if you find or encounter a team that can start the game right and then take control and control the tempo, you're never going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And the same way on the backside, when the other team that's down starts gaining momentum, you need somebody to reel you back in. And that's where I think Jalen Brunson failed the Knicks. So I really put this loss a lot on Jalen Brunson, because you're the floor general, you're the point guard, but you couldn't reel them back in. So what happens in the next game, if y'all get out to a hot start, y'all are good, and then the Pacers start coming back, you start getting them dousing here like, here we go again. Here comes deja vu. We couldn't stop them last time. We couldn't do it. And people start to lose faith in the point guard. Like, or your leader, not even a point guard, just the leader. The leader's supposed to be able to reel it back in. And Jalen Brunson, him being the play he is, especially in the half court, should have taken control of that game. He should have just grabbed the ball, told him, hold on, let's slow this shit down in the fourth quarter when they were up by 11 and use the shot clock. He should have done that, but he didn't. So, there's mental errors that happen. I hope the Knicks learn from this. But I mean, I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm even more excited for the series in the Western Conference Finals, which we about to get to.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say we are actually about to talk about that right now. That game just finished up. Was actually waiting for that game to finish up. OKC, of course, wins. I don't want to say, of course. It was a pretty hard fought game early, but it's actually around midway through the third. OKC started to run away with it. T-Wolves kind of put up a small surge with about 4 to 5 minutes left in the fourth, but wasn't helpful. You got 32 from Anthony Edwards, but unfortunately 1 from 9 from 3. 22 from Jaden McDaniels and 6 points from one Julius Randle in 32 minutes. Definitely not going to get it done. On the other side, Shea, 42 minutes, 38 points, 1 3, but he only shot 2 of them, so numbers are solid. Chet Holmgren, 22, 1 for 6 from 3. Jalen Williams, 26, 2 for 6. So nobody really necessarily shot well. Didn't really get much from the bench as well. But with the 2-0 lead, is OKC a shoe-in to win this series, or does the T-Wolves have some fight left?
Oh shit! I didn't even realize they played today. Oh God! And OKC won again. Here's the thing, man. I feel as if Anthony Edwards' stardom has brought them this far again. Which, when you really think about it, going back to last year, they lost Cat, and we didn't really think that we didn't think Minnesota would have a winning record. We would thought Cat would need a year, Anthony Edwards would need a year to adjust and learn to play without Cat. So just the fact that they knocked off LeBron and Luka, then got into the second round and won again, and now they're in the conference finals. They're in the conference finals back-to-back years. Just them being in the conference finals back-to-back years is an achievement.
That's true.
Right? But here we are. The series isn't a series until somebody wins on the road. And if you know anything about basketball or just sports in general, home crowds are crazy, especially when you're right there on the cusp of making a championship. I do think deep down OKC will win this series, as much as I really don't want them to, because I really love Anthony Edwards, and I like Shea too, but he flopped too damn much. He's taking the mantle from LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking the mantle from LeBron. He is definitely a LeBron person, like a LeBron person. The free throws tonight, they were pretty much even though. So you can't even blame the free throws. Minnesota made more threes. I think Minnesota is outmatched in this series, team for team. Like, I feel that way, and it's you know what I'm saying. It's nothing wrong with that. Mike Conley's older. Shea is, you know what I mean. Obviously, Jaden McDaniels is guarding Shea, but Mike Conley is older, and Jaden McDaniels is guarding him. But when Jaden McDaniels got to guard Shea, somebody else has to. What's the shooting guard for OKC? God damn it, I forgot his name. Dort.
Yeah, Lou Dort.
Which means Mike Conley has to guard Dort. Dort is guarding Anthony Edwards on the other side, right? So Mike Conley doesn't even get a consistent matchup on offense or defense to start things off. Then the game plan for Minnesota, from me watching the games, I didn't watch tonight's game, but just from me watching the games throughout the playoffs, they're switching everything.
Everything.
Except the center on except for Rudy Gobert to switch out and guard somebody. So they're switching everything. But I think OKC probably is a bad matchup for the Thunder, especially with Cat gone, because Hartenstein and Holmgren against Rudy Gobert can work because Rudy Gobert can't score against them. And that was the thing that put OKC over in the last series, is that Rudy Gobert was bigger than everybody. He's not. He's right at the same size with Chet and Hartenstein. They can guard Rudy Gobert. It's not a mismatch anymore. That's the thing that put them over the Lakers, and that's the thing that put them over the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Edwards was right. I think if Steph Curry plays, the Timberwolves might not win that series. But also on the flip side, you can only play who's in front of you.
True.
Right? You know, most teams that win a championship don't win a championship with fully loaded teams throughout the playoffs. It just stuff just happens. It is what it is, and I can't hold it against them. But whether or not Minnesota makes the finals or not, they overachieved this year, and that's something they should be absolutely proud of. And you know, I love Anthony Edwards. That's my favorite player to watch. But SGA, stop flopping. You get on my damn nerves. That's why I can't watch OKC games.
I mean, I definitely feel you on the SGA thing. He's definitely developed a flopping problem. It's just got to get it together, bro. Play basketball. As far as Minnesota goes, the reason why I took Minnesota in this series is because of physicality. Main reason being is because of the physicality between Jaden McDaniels and Julius Randle. I think if Julius Randle can be more physical on the inside, like he was in the Lakers series, like he was in the Warriors series, I think that pair that along with Jaden McDaniels, you pair that along with Anthony Edwards, then I think you have something there, right? I think this team, like I've been saying, they're a lot more fiery, they're a lot more feisty, especially when you got guys like Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo. They have a different kind of swagger, a different kind of aggressiveness to them. But I haven't necessarily seen that in this series. I've kind of seen them sit back, kind of wait for things. It looks like they're kind of getting pushed around by this younger OKC team. And I'm just like, where's that aggressive nature? Where's that dog nature? Where's that I'm going to get it out the mud nature that I've seen at the late half of the season and in the early starts of the playoffs? Like, they had a different kind of aggressive nature to them, to where it almost seemed like they were almost punking their opponents, right? Especially when you look at opponents that were, you know, let's just be honest, roster-wise better than them. But just they came in with it's a mentality thing, and we're going to bully the bullies today. I just haven't seen that yet. And I don't know if it's because OKC is deep or if they have a tighter rotation. But I haven't seen that aggressive nature from the T-Wolves. I have, however, seen it from OKC, though. I've seen it from the SGA, which is kind of surprising and shocking to me. I've seen it from Isaiah Hartenstein, which I think is the reason why they brought him over from New York. He kind of gives him a different kind of swagger on the inside. Kind of rough, rugged, tough kind of rebounder. He's going to get the scrappy rebounds and stuff like that. I am seeing that from Lou Dort, right? Shout out to Lou Dort for, hitting Scott Foster in the nose, possibly breaking his nose tonight, giving him a bloody nose in the middle of the game. I'm seeing that from a young OKC team, and I don't know if they watched the show the other night, but they took what I said to heart, right? I called them. I didn't want to use the word, but unfortunately, I didn't have another word to use. But I called them soft, but they obviously heard what I said, seen what I said, and decided to, step up in a big way. But I do think T-Wolves can win this series if they kind of hone into that aggressiveness that got them there. But we know 2-0 is definitely hard to come back from, as hard as 3-1 or 3-0 is to come back from. 2-0,
I think
definitely.
But to your point about them being aggressive, the biggest problem the Timberwolves are going to have is Rudy Gobert can't score on his own.
Yep.
But Hartenstein and Holmgren both can. Like, if you look at the box score for the Thunder, Jalen Williams 26, Chet Holmgren 22. SGA 38, Luke Dort 9, Cason Wallace 8, Alex Caruso, who he's only got 9 points, but his plus minus off the bench is insane. This is what he does. Alex Caruso's been a beast since he was in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and before. And when you look at the Timberwolves, I mean, nobody expected Nickeil Alexander Walker to drop 17.
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels scoring 22 is basically what I expect.
Yeah.
But if Julius Randle can't be your second best scorer, it's not going to work. And Chet is so long, he's giving Randle problems. Randle can't finish at the rim like he would normally do. I think Randle is 6'10"?
Yeah.
6'10", and Chet is about 7'1". So like it's giving the length is giving him problems. And I think that's where the mismatch, whoever wins the battle between Chet and Julius is which team is going to win, because Anthony Edwards and SGA are basically going to cancel out each other. Plain and simple. I know SGA scored more tonight, but even if Anthony Edwards would have matched SGA in points, the Timberwolves would have still lost this game. And I hate to say it like this, I think the Timberwolves are outmatched because Rudy Gobert can't score. He can't score. Like, and I'm not knocking him. He's still a great player, good player, whatever you want to call him. But Rudy Gobert can't score. And if he and in all honesty, if the Pacers win the Eastern Conference Finals and the Timberwolves win the Western Conference Finals, that is going to hurt them against Indiana. Because as much, hear me out on this one, I think you would agree. As much as y'all asses voted Tyrese Halliburton to be the most overrated player, and then the most overrated player on Indiana is Miles Turner. But Miles Turner would have a field day against Rudy Gobert because he can shoot from the mid-range. He could back up and shoot the long two ball and pull Rudy Gobert out, and he will make him a non-factor.
This is true.
And if you have Chet can shoot, Chet can shoot. He can pull Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert does not want to switch on the Chet, and they have been exposing that. They're going to make Julius Randle.
That's why I'm laughing, because they have.
They're going to make Julius Randle get guarded by Isaiah Hartenstein, and they're going to make Chet get guarded by Rudy Gobert. And Rudy Gobert does not like to take a step out of that paint at all. He can't recover. He's not fast enough. He can't. And Chet can dribble for his size. He can make a move and go score.
A bit.
I've told people for years, Rudy Gobert is a really, really good off-ball help defender.
That's also true. That's also true. If you don't know, just go look up some defensive videos on Rudy Gobert.
He's not David Robinson. He's not Hakeem.
No.
I don't care if he won. He's not Dwight Howard when Dwight Howard was on Orlando. I don't care what y'all say about him winning Defensive Player of the Year. None of that shit. He won Defensive Player of the Year because he was a good off-ball defender, a good help defender, a damn good one at that.
Yeah.
The problem is when you have a stretch big that he has to guard, he's no longer effective in the game of basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
You play 4 out and switch him onto your 4 that can shoot, it's a wrap.
That's true though. Like I think a lot of people, a lot of people forget that. I think a lot of people forget that.
That's
now,
X's and O's of basketball. I'm just
quick little breakdown for y'all. Now, before we start to wind down, because we're coming up on an hour, WNBA season has kicked off. Obviously, Sparks are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Vegas is right up there as well. New York, of course, also doing what they're supposed to be doing. But we have some new faces in the WNBA. Which young rookie are you excited to see?
Which rookie am I excited to see? You know what? Nobody, because Juju is still in college. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Respectable. That's valid.
Yeah, Juju's still in college. So I'm not really excited to see. I feel like this class is a very good class of players, but they're not last year's and they're not going to be the following year. Paige might be the most excited person, the person I'm excited to see the most, because people forget Paige was at one point a top prospect and then she got hurt.
That's true.
So Paige is the one I'm most excited to see just because she comes from Connecticut with Gio Auriemma. Let me see. What's the girl that played in LSU and then went to TCU?
Haley Van Lith.
Haley Van Lith. I'm excited to see. Well, I'm not excited. I just want to see if she lives up to the hype because she left because she felt like she was undervalued.
That's true. I can dig that too.
Yeah, but I'm not overly excited to see anybody. I think the following class is going to be the next class with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink. You know that kind of class.
Yeah.
But this year's freshman rookie class, not so much. I think they'll have a bunch of good players, no stars though. I don't think they have any stars in this last WNBA draft.
I can dig that. Of course, always excited to see my girl Paige.
Other than Paige, my bad. Other than Paige.
Of course, we are big Juju fans over here on this podcast, so Kid definitely can't wait for her to come out. Also excited to see Kiki Ariafrin. Yeah. She I think she's out there in Washington. So that's definitely exciting. Definitely want to see her. Golden State Valkyries have started their official season, their inaugural season. And they get their first win yesterday. So shout out to them. But we have some controversy already. Started off already with some controversy.
Hold on now. It's
go ahead.
You know my girlfriend is here, but it's women competing, bro. What the hell did you expect?
Yeah, I mean, well, of course. We all know that, when women in competition is involved, it can get turned up to another level.
Emotional.
So always have to tread lightly if you decide to partake. But as we know, the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese Chronicles from last year, they're kind of would-be beef that everybody kind of tried to ship together. Has, I guess, kind of spilled over, but not in the way that everybody thinks. Ryan Clark and one Robert Griffin III have been exchanging some ideals.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Do you think they have been? While DJ Michael B steps away, I'm going to explain to you guys what's going on a little bit. They have been exchanging some ideals over certain words that were said on a social media platform. Twitter, X, whatever you guys want to call it. RG3 insists that Angel Reese does not like Caitlin Clark. He used the word hates, I guess, but he said does not like Caitlin Clark for various reasons. And then he went on to name those reasons, which if you were paying attention to women's basketball prior to then just this year, then you would know that Angel Reese's reasons are very valid, considering that she was drafted so high in the WNBA draft. But RG3 lays out a whole bunch of reasons as to why Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, due to Angel Reese getting hard fouled by Caitlin Clark, kind of flopping over. It was a flop, but kind of flopping over and giving up and playing it for the crowd, because she understands and they both understand that a lot of people come out to see them play, and obviously any kind of extra, what may look like some turmoil is obviously going to get the crowd going. So Angel Reese playing it for the crowds. Kudos to you. But Robert goes on to say that, this a whole bunch of extra stuff. And, he had his wife in the background, and she wasn't saying anything, but it kind of looks like she was just kind of co-signing, which it prompted a lot of responses. One from Ryan Clark on his Pivot podcast, where he says that Robert, because that he was married to a certain type of woman, that he doesn't have certain type of conversations in house, which he may miss some type of context clues with some black women, in that
we could read between the lines.
Yeah, and that some black men will pedestalize their white woman, or quote unquote milkmaid, as a lot of people tend to use, while denigrating the black woman, which honestly, I said this on Twitter and I'll say it again. Ryan, no, I don't know why you would do this, because why would you even engage? And I get it. I understand the age that we're in, but it's a lot of things that just need to be left at the door. A lot of things that need to be understood, that yes, they were stupid, and I'm not going to sit up here and engage with that type of stupidity, because everything that Angel Reese was saying did have some type of factual context to it. So we can't sit up there and say that RG3, that she said it just because she didn't like Caitlin Clark. Like it played a role. So when it comes to Ryan Clark's comments and RG3's impromptu show about how Ryan Clark supposedly called him out and talked about his wife, it's just a lot of petty back and forth. But I don't necessarily feel that any lines were crossed, I guess. But DJ Mike B, how we feeling?
Well, first of all, RG3 went to Baylor, so what do you expect him to do? Let's start there.
True.
Those of you from Texas, you know what time it is at Baylor. Let's just get that out the way. You know what time it is. Okay. Secondly, did Ryan Clark really say anything wrong?
Not to me.
I'm sorry, but like, you are and this is what I mean with famous people, right? Famous people have no place to comment on it. And I'm not saying they can't, and I'm saying they never done it, but like, athletes and stars probably have no place to comment on a lot of injustices to just your everyday black person walking around.
Yep.
Right? RG3 has been a superstar from the time he was young. Then went to Baylor and he beat Alabama, and people went fucking crazy in Waco and in Texas. RG3 has a past forever. He will never, from the time he was in high school to now, he will never encounter any kind of racism, at least in Texas or any place that adores college football, whether it be Alabama, whether it be Florida, any place that adores college football, he doesn't have to worry about racism or nothing. But Ryan Clark did bring up a good point. You don't have these conversations of what it's like with your wife to be a black woman in the world. And you probably don't know what it's like to be a regular black man in this world. And it's not a knock on him. Before anybody says anything, you probably have no idea what it's like just walking around being a black man, a regular black man in the community. Especially when the community is patrolled by nothing but white cops, right?
Fair point.
So it is what it is with those two. I don't think Ryan Clark should lose his job because I think he spoke the truth, and I don't think RG3 is wrong in his perspective either because that's his perspective. His perspective is don't come for my wife. And don't tell me I don't know this and that just because I'm married to a white woman with this, and that. You know, everybody is up for interpretation. I'm not saying all rich white people don't understand and can't relate. And I'm not saying all rich black people don't relate and can't understand. What I'm sitting here simply saying is your wife doesn't go through the hatred that Angel Reese would go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is not black, right? And to the point of RG3 with her hating Caitlin Clark, I don't think that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I need y'all to get out of this mode of just because two women don't get along, they don't like each other or they don't respect each other. That's not true. These are two women competing, going against each other. Like, Moo, you remember what I told you? Hold on to this because I'm about to blow y'all mind when it was like, well, they're pinning against white and black and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to stop doing that. No, they don't. And you know why they don't? Because Magic Johnson and Larry Bird did the same exact thing to the NBA. You don't think this is a conversation back in the early 80s when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came out? White people was back in Larry Bird, and black people was back in Magic Johnson.
Yep.
This has been an ongoing thing for years. This is not new. But what is new is Caitlin Clark carrying her college fans to the WNBA and Angel Reese carrying her college fans to the WNBA. And now they are long-term rivals, even though they don't play nowhere near the same position. And even though they will probably never guard each other, except out of a few instances, it is what it is. Maybe the media pushes the black versus white thing. That's fine. But they will always be connected ever since this happened. That right there.
There you go. Honestly.
And once white people said that was over the line and disrespectful and she has no class and this and through everything that you would say about a black person doing that, here's what I gotta say. Tom Brady was out there going crazy and doing all that shit to the black opponents. Y'all didn't say shit. Okay. So it's good for the game. The black versus white thing is good for the game. We saw it with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and now it's time for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to save the WNBA. And if you say, well, it can't be her, well, Juju's right around the corner, and Juju damn sure ain't backing out for Caitlin Clark.
Maybe there's gonna be somebody. Y'all better be careful. Shit. Because if not Angel Reese, then who is it gonna be? Right? And shit, we understood shit that fucking well, at least I hope they did, but a lot of basketball fans understood back in the day that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson didn't play the same position. But they still pit them against each other like they did. And you know, like Micah said, white people backed Larry, black people back Magic, right? Didn't play nowhere near the same position. But because of their battles in college, Everybody wants to see that now where? In the NBA. So when Angel Reese is coming out and saying like, yeah, well, of course, Caitlin Clark is bringing an influx of fans to the WNBA. But so am I, because she's absolutely correct. A lot of people are going to want to come see her play. A lot of people are going to want to go see Caitlin Clark play when they play each other. A lot of people are going to come to those games, right? So when RG3 is saying that, that's the reason why a lot of people are getting at him the way that they're getting at him, because they're looking at the way they're looking at everything that we're looking at, right? Like DJ Micah B. Like he just that shit was on national news. Like fuck just Sports Center and ESPN and shit. That shit was on fucking CNN and shit, bro. Like ABC.
That shit was on what was the BBC News?
You know what I mean?
It wasn't even on that.
Like, bro, and the fact that it happened in a national championship game, that was national news. Everybody seen that. And after that, it went viral, and that is what turned it into a whole big thing to where it was a Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese thing. And it's crazy because even that next year, right, where they played each other again, and Caitlin Clark goes on to go to the national championship and lose to South Carolina. What's the story? Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Nobody's even talking about South Carolina and Dawn Staley, how she's taking her fucking team to the championship, right? They're all talking about
shout out Dawn Staley.
Look, there you go, right? They're all talking about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, right? So understand that, yeah, of course there's a story there because a lot of people are fans of these two young women and they're, of course, going to follow them. But as the media, as everybody else, as fans, let's not try to pit them against each other as if they can't both be great. And Caitlin Clark is better at this. Of course, she plays fucking point guard, shooting guard. Of course, she's a better shooter.
Hey, Mo. I'm not with that. Let's not pit them against each other. I'm with the let's pit them against each other for sports purposes.
I would say for sports purposes, right? Like not for the personal or, Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark personally because of this. Like, no, that's not true. Like they're like DJ said, like it's competition. Like they're of course going to go at each other. Of course it's going to get a little feisty. Of course it's going to get a little fiery, but that is because competition is like that. And we have to look at it as such. But at the same time, it's like we're not going to sit up there and compare their successes and faults just for the simple fact that everybody wants to get some type of rise out of or some type of
I think you know what? You make a good point because I think in hindsight, what we're seeing is people are trying to compare who's the better person, and now who's the better basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
For people that's not under, because I think that's where you're getting at right now. For people, for people that don't understand what you're saying, it's like we should not be comparing who's a better person because number one, we don't know personally who's the better person, and number two, they're both well known to do good things in the community.
Mm-hmm.
They're both raised appropriately. They're both very good people. They're both very involved in their communities. And the only thing we should be comparing is basketball. But people have this tendency where they can't leave basketball on the court. They have to bleed over into personal.
That's the ultimate problem for me, right? Like if we're going to keep it just basketball, and like I said, right, if we're like, you can't compare like their failures and successes. Like everybody's saying, well, Caitlin Clark has scored this amount of points in this amount of games and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, and you got people on the other side. Well, Angel Reese has got this many rebounds, scored this many points. It's like that part, right? Like don't use their name to try to personalize your own agenda because of how you feel towards the other race. Like that shit gets on my nerves. There's no point in sports. There's no part of sports for that. Like if you're gonna sit up here and say that Caitlin Clark shoots better than Angel Reese, no fucking shit. We all know that. But don't sit up there and be like, oh, the Great White Hope shoots better than the Black Barbie. Like that's weird. You feel me? Like, and that's the narrative that I hear a lot is like, oh, a lot of people are trying to pit them up against each other because of their race instead of just saying, oh, well, Angel Reese is a better rebounder than Caitlin Clark because she plays fucking center / power forward and she plays better defense. But nah, because Angel Reese is taller and she's black. She's just better rebounds, and Caitlin Clark shoots better because she's white. Like, bro, no, don't. That's weird. Don't do that, bro. Because now you're making it something that it's not. Oh, Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark because she's white and she gets more attention than her. Like, that's not the case at all. Don't do that.
I don't even think. I think as a basketball player, Caitlin Clark gets more attention, but off the court, Angel Reese definitely gets more attention because Angel Reese is also a model and doing all this other stuff, and so. But at the end of the day, they're both very successful women.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think if you're going to be a fan of them, just compare basketball.
Yeah.
Just compare basketball. That's it. Because they're both known to do great things off the court as humanitarians and things like that. Just compare basketball. When it comes down to it, I think Caitlin Clark is better.
I mean, she's a better basketball player.
I think Caitlin Clark is better. That's not me taking a slight at Angel Reese.
That's not saying that Angel Reese sucks when she's weak and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think Caitlin Clark, her game translates better to the next level as in the WNBA. Because she's a shooter. And that's what people look at nowadays. They look at long range shots. They look at bombs from half court. And that's what Caitlin Clark does. Angel Reese, on the other hand, is a Dennis Rodman out of her era. You know, like she'll grab 15 rebounds a game. She'll give you 10 and 15. And people will say, oh, she sucks. But it's like, no, she doesn't. She just gave you 10, 15 with 3 blocks and 2 steals. And you're like, yo, that's insane. 10 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals is insane.
Yeah, that's actually a crazy stat line.
Yeah. So they're on 2 different sides of the spectrum when it comes to basketball players. But, man, y'all got to let the racist shit go. I'm sorry.
Race has no part in sports. And the fact that y'all keep trying to add it to it is weird. So when it comes to, both these gentlemen's comments, right? And I think for the people that are trying to misconstrue Ryan Clark's, is his comments, because I think there was a motive, right? With if people don't want to admit it or not. You have the first video where you come out and you're talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and you have your wife in the background, but then the response video to Ryan Clark, you don't. Some people might find that weird. Some people might find the first video a little performative, right? Which is probably why Ryan Clark, had his response and said and said what he said. But I like Micah said, I don't think he said anything wrong, right? I think he brought up a really good point, a really good fact. Like, you walk around your job, you walk around, life, you're on social media and you portray and you're flexing your wife as this type of milk maiden and top tier milk, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's essentially coming out and saying, like, I think your wife is more than that. I think she's more than just her skin tone that you kind of just trying to show off. While at the same time, which is probably why the conversations that he said that you probably don't have in your life or in your household came up. Denigrating Black women, right? Which some men do when they decide to date outside their race. But I think that was the main point, right? And I think a lot of people, especially Robert, RG3, I think he got that misconstrued and decided to take that moment because he kept repeating. And I noticed that he kept repeating certain things, right? Kept repeating, you come after me, you come after my wife, come after me, come after my wife. And if psychology, right? Psychology has taught me anything. It's when you repeat the same words, the same phrases over and over again, you're trying to get people. It's kind of like you're trying to sway people, right? It's a form of manipulation and, dare I say, hypnosis, right? Because if you say something a certain amount of time, in a certain tone, it goes over like you're right. It goes over like you can't be wrong about this, right? Because of how many times you repeated it.
Well, I'm not a psychology major, but I'm a people person, and I grew up around niggas. Okay, so I'm just keeping it real. I grew up around niggas.
There you go.
If you got to repeat yourself over and over again about you dating a white person, you're insecure.
There it is.
About dating such white person, because overall there are a lot of brothers out here questioning what's the word I'm questioning your brotherhood card. How about that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out here questioning your brotherhood card. So anytime you get a chance, you want to flaunt it. It's an insecurity. It's an insecurity.
That's true.
And I don't know how y'all would say it in psychology terms, Moo, because I know you're a psychology major. I don't know how y'all would say that, but that's pretty much what I get from it. And I think you would agree with that. It's just if every chance you get, you got to flex that you dating a white woman, it gets to the point where it's like, well, brother, why didn't you just date a black woman? Because since you got to shove it down my throats as you dating a white woman, what was wrong with the black woman?
There you go.
Because apparently the black woman didn't want you, and you hold some resentment in your heart.
Apparently, that's what they all say, right? Oh, the black woman didn't want me when I was all right, bro. Sure. Black women were mean to me when I was a kid. When I was in middle school, a black woman said no to me when I asked her to go get some ice cream. So now I just date white women because all black women are the fuck out of here, dog.
Because the white woman accepted the ice cream dated, the black woman didn't.
Exactly.
So now you like white women.
So now they're strictly like white women because white women accept ice cream dates. And black women don't like ice cream. They got too much attitude for ice cream. Like, fuck out of here.
Speak for yourselves. I'm telling you, speak for yourselves. Because my girlfriend is in the living room right now. If I told her, hey, let's go get marble slab right now, she'd be dressed in 2 minutes.
Come on. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, real niggas do real things. You know what I'm saying? And others do what they can. But as we just decide to wind down, let's go ahead and get your final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts. Make sure you tune to the Best Damn Football Show, period, tomorrow. Y'all already know Coin by DJ Micah B. Y'all already know what it is. Inside the Huddle, where they talk that ish. If you don't understand the acronym, then whatever. I guess you're a slow nigga. Of course. Are y'all on Monday, or are y'all gonna push it back to Tuesday since Monday is a holiday?
Oh, that's a great question. We're probably gonna call Troy and see what he talking about.
So either Monday or Tuesday, you'll get Bastard to Bastard this week. Just please look out for the notification once we go live. It might be Monday, it might be Tuesday. We're not 100% sure yet. I think last year y'all did Tuesday instead of Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did the Gentleman's Talk Memorial Day special. And then, of course, Wednesday. What's up, Ron? And then, of course, Wednesday, we got Gentleman's Talk. We are doing the top 32 Disney movie songs of all time. We're going to put them on a bracket, and we're going to figure out what's number one. For the fans out there that like this idea, we want you to guess which movie will have the most songs on the bracket. Right now, it's very, very neck and neck with most votes between the Lion King and Goofy movie. It is very close. Mulan is another close one that people are guessing on because Mulan do got some hits.
Yes,
because Reflection was an international hit outside of Mulan. So, and then of course, next week Thursday, right back here, PVT. You got me, you got Moo, you got Willie. And of course, Y'all just keep following us. Subscribe, press the bell so you get a notification when we go live. And I will see y'all on Wednesday.
Man, y'all heard what my boy DJ Michael B said, so I'm not gonna repeat it. Only thing I will say is be on the lookout for PVT season 2. Some major changes is coming out, so don't miss it. It's gonna feature that boy Picante Mill. So we're gonna get a lot more debates between DJ Michael B and that boy Picante Mill. So you're not gonna want to miss it. I'm telling you right
He ain't ready.
now.
He ain't ready.
Don't get real in the field. Make sure you guys tune in to the rest of the show throughout the rest of the week, like my boy said, and we're gonna catch y'all next week.